Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Oh my god, what have I done?
Today we're going to talk about a movie that I had no idea was actually coming out in theaters, and when I started hearing about what this movie entailed, I was extremely curious, especially because of the fact that I love period pieces that talk about important historical events that not that many people know too much about. They're sort of like squeezed into these hidden little corridors of the big history book that is the world. And so when I heard that Chappaquiddick, the new film from John Curran, was coming out, which talked about a very strange and mysterious event in the former Senator Ted Kennedy's past, was coming out, I was very curious. Wasn't sure if I was going to see it in theaters or not, but then when you hear one of my favorite people in the world of politics, Ben Shapiro, touting it, it's something that you just cannot say no to. I mean, how could you say no to a guy who rips the Democratic Party apart and then plays the theme song to Game of Thrones on his violin in the very same day? You can't beat that. So I went to see Chappaquiddick, and I gotta say that I was very impressed by this movie for a numerous bunch of reasons. Of course, this is a piece of history that I didn't know much about. The only thing I knew about was that Ted Kennedy is the youngest brother of the legendary Kennedy family in politics, and that he was a prominent senator in Massachusetts until the day he died. So, of course, that was all I knew, and when I heard that he was actually involved in the death of Mary Jo Kopechne, who was a young woman who was very closely involved in the campaign of his brother Bobby Kennedy's presidential run, this was something that just intrigued me to no avail, and seeing how this story unfolds really resonated with me. It was a very interesting story, the acting was absolutely stellar, and the overall understanding of this film basically brings to the forefront absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is something that we have seen in royal dynasties, heirs of Fortune 500 companies to, of course, politicians, and the Kennedys are no exception. Yes, there were many people that believed that the Kennedys were more than men and less than gods. Same thing could be said about the women of the family, but there were also a whole bunch of people that believed that they were nothing but a bunch of scumbags. And Chappaquiddick, which shows us Ted Kennedy, he seems like he wants to do the right thing, but because of the fact that he is now attached to this incredible power in politics, he could really get by with anything that he chooses, and how he deals with this tragedy and how the people around him make him decide the decisions that he makes within those few days until he officially goes on trial is absolutely surprising and mesmerizing and shocking. The acting is absolutely stellar. Jason Clarke, who is a person that I have seen in many films, a fantastic character actor, I was so glad to actually see him finally take a leading role. This is truly a breakthrough performance for him as Senator Ted Kennedy, because he was absolutely fantastic. You also had Kate Mara, who plays Mary Jo Kopechne. You also had two surprising performances from Ed Helms and Jim Gaffigan. Yeah, two comedic people in Hollywood, and they gave me two of the best dramatic performances in that film. Also, we have the legendary Bruce Dern, who plays Joe Kennedy Sr., and even though he doesn't have many speaking roles in this movie, you definitely fear this man because he truly is the epitome of the Kennedy name, and he is just incredible in this film. Not to mention one of my favorite character actors, Clancy Brown, playing Bob McNamara. Who would have thought that I would see two of my favorite character actors, who are also tied to the DC animated universe, playing Bob McNamara in 1 year? What are the odds? There's also a fantastic score from Garth Stevenson, and overall this movie is definitely an interesting thing, and just seeing all of the things that were done to fabricate and create alibis and try to make Ted Kennedy look as if he was a hero, not necessarily a victim in this, was really an interesting thing to see, and it is definitely an important movie to see because we pretty much are seeing this today in pretty much every where that power seems to be abundant. So I would definitely say take a look at this movie because it's definitely something that is going to shake you and make you think. Is it a movie that you have to see in theaters? I would probably say no. I mean, honestly, I would love to see this movie get some recognition at the Oscars, but I don't think it's going to get that. It is a movie that I wouldn't mind seeing again because I really did appreciate the story and the acting and the overall feel of this film, but it's not a movie that I'd want to get on DVD either. But it is a very interesting movie to see. So Chappaquiddick, very glad that I saw this film. I'm going to be giving it 3 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Chappaquiddick, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.